I think biotech and blockchain really fits because at the center of it, biotech right now, especially with genomic data science, is just big data. And with big data, what you require out of those data is the velocity of the data, the volume of the data, and another thing that's almost never discussed is the veracity of the data. The veracity simply means that the data is not fake. Blockchain can ensure that the data is not fake. Blockchain can ensure basically the non-repudiation of the data, that the data comes from somewhere and exists in the real world and is not just made up. It's not fake news. So blockchain and biotech can link strongly together when we're actually talking about the data. Another thing that I need to talk to about is the possibility of owning your own data. That possibility exists built in the blockchain architecture. And for biotech, as we start modifying our genes, start cloning people, start cloning animals, start cloning ourselves, that becomes very important because your data becomes yourself. And if you are actually doing biotech in any capacity right now, you'd also want to make sure that your research, all of your research, comes back to yourself in terms of royalties. That's another thing blockchain can help with, making sure that what we give out, that we create, comes back to us. We were created to bring more value to the blockchain jungle. That's why we're called the zoo. So it's also very funny, each of our consultants basically get an animal name. I'm the panda, by the way, if you can tell. So anyway, what we do is we come to our customers and we basically, and these range basically from people trying to do ICOs, to banks, to insurance companies, to supply chain management operations. We come to them and we check their business models. It'll be a couple of days of workshops, and then afterwards we basically give them a report. That report basically matches up what they are trying to achieve with the technologies that we help them choose. Now, the key here is that we are technologically agnostic. It's not just one technology. We feel that the current technology base, the current ecosystem is really lopsided towards one or two technologies. But there are so many other really good technologies in the blockchain jungle that we can utilize based on use case. And thus, Blockchain Zoo is an agnostic consulting company. I love it so far, and I think I'm coming again next year, invite or no invite. So, and I think what is required right now in the ecosystem is more collaborations between the public sector and the private sector. And I like what you guys are doing right now, what Valentin is doing now with Vicente Fox, inviting him to come in and then giving a view from the regulator's perspective. I think there should be more of that. I think governments should be in here, and I say governments, not just one, multiple governments from all of the views. The government of America, the government of Singapore, everyone should basically be here because here's the thing, blockchain is going to change not just technology this time, but it's going to be changing governance. And that is something very important for governments to understand.